back to Monica wanting to walk back with us, but no. Did they have to break anyone's heart just to get what they wanted? Was it the right thing to do? I'm assuming that this might be Natsuki. Hey, what's up? I hear someone yelling to me from across the hallway. Wait a second. I recognize that voice. Natsuki? Well, duh! Who else? I just wasn't expecting to run into you. It's not like I really see you around the hallways too much. I guess that's true. But man, you should have seen the look on your face! You look like you just saw a ghost! Oh, well, I've just been busy thinking, I guess. About what? It's complicated. Is it something I can help out with? She probably wouldn't react well if I told her what Yuri gave me. I'll let you know if it's something you can help with. It's nothing super serious. Alright, Chloe. But don't be afraid to talk to me if you need to. I'd feel a bit bad if I knew that I could have helped. Just know that I won't shut you out or anything, okay? I appreciate it. Good! I wouldn't want you to think that I'm scary or something. You couldn't scare me off even if you tried. Buddy, your first nightmare and then you had like... You were so traumatized you didn't want to go into the damn closet. Is that a challenge? Relax. It's not like I want to scare you off anyways. I'm not that mean. Yeah, you're not too bad. Well, you sure know how to compliment a lady. It worked so far. Natsuki turns red-faced as she figures out how to respond. I decide to cut her a break this time. So, how have you been? Oh, I'm doing great. I'm just heading to my next class. Well, that's good. I'm just getting back from lunch. How was it? Surprisingly, it was actually alright. Found out I had the same lunch period with Monica. Crazy, right? Yeah. Now I won't have to hear you complaining about not having anyone to sit with. Hey, I wasn't complaining. Well, you'd be complaining about how much you missed out on my cupcakes. I always try to bring something nice for everyone. That's probably true. You're the best cook I know. So if we ever had a lunch together, I'd be set. Well, hang on. I didn't say you could mooch off of me. Some of it is for me too. I know. So, I take it you have to get to your next class. Yep. Heading back to good old algebra class with Saito. I sarcastically give a thumbs up. She's that bad, huh? I mean, she's not bad, she's just boring. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure I don't want to do anything with math in the future. Yeah, same here. Well, I'll let you go suffer till club time. I smile back at Natsuki. Laters. Bye! I wave goodbye to Natsuki as we head our separate ways. Didn't really see her outside of the club. It was nice catching up a little. I really appreciated Natsuki's offer earlier, though I don't know if she'd really want to help with something like this, given her opinion on Yuri. Well, it'd suck if she'd give me a poem confession too. Oh, we've been through that. That happens. I don't know what I'd do. Yeah, I got hers yesterday. Just need your poems and Natsuki's. Yeah, it just switched Yuri with Natsuki. Yuri isn't there. It isn't an option. We want to avoid her. I'll see what Natsuki is up to. As I walk up to the closet, I can hear Natsuki talking to herself. Where the hell is it? Careful not to startle her like I have been recently, I gently knock on the closet door. Natsuki finishes putting some boxes back on the shelf as she comes out of the closet. Hey, everything okay in there? No. Natsuki turns away, attempting to compose herself. Well, what's wrong? I think I lost that special edition of Buffet Girls that we were reading yesterday. Well, I can see why she'd be upset about that. Did you have it with you earlier today? Yeah, I had it with me all day. I could have sworn I had it with me when I came here. Natsuki clenched her fists in frustration. Swear to God if I can't find it. Natsuki's voice breaks. I glance around the room to see if anyone else is seeing this. Seems like at any moment, Natsuki will break down and start crying. Well, I'm about to do something risky to try to calm her down. Natsuki? Put my hand on her shoulder. We'll find it. Okay? Natsuki's face turns another shade of crimson as she shrugs my hand off. Alright, lover boy, calm down! Let's keep this PG. Lover boy? What are you getting at here? I have said something similar before. I don't know where exactly it's coming from though. You know exactly what I'm getting at. Don't act dumb. Whatever. I tried to change the subject, fearing further embarrassment by Natsuki. Well, if we're going to find that manga, we should probably retrace your steps. When was the last time you remember reading it? Natsuki takes a long pause. Well, I was reading it in Miss Suzuki's class. Mrs. Aren't you the diligent student? Hey! You know her class is boring! At least you don't have Miss Saito. It's not like you pay attention to her class either. Fair point. Anyway, Suzuki is probably left her room by now, so we can probably go check. Alright, let's go. The faster we can find that manga, the saner I'll be by the end of this. I let out a slight chuckle as we head out of the clubroom and into the hallway. Fortunately, it didn't take too long for us to get to Miss Suzuki's classroom. Yeah, Miss... Wait, was this Mrs... Is it Mrs. or is it Miss Suzuki? Considering it was just around the corner from the literature club, I could see Natsuki growing more apprehensive as we got closer to the room. I could even hear her worryingly muttering to herself during the walk. It's gotta be there. It has to be. Natsuki? Natsuki's son looks up at me, breaking her train of thought. If it's not in Miss Suzuki's room... Yeah, miss. Do you know where else it might be? That's what worries me. If it's not in there, maybe it's in the lost and found. Or someone stole it. Oh, come on. Who'd want to steal something like that? Chloe, it was 9,000 yen. Oh. I didn't realize Perfigos was worth that much. It's very easy to take something like that and resell it online. It happened to a girl I knew back in middle school. And if it happens to me, there's no way I'd be able to get it back. My dad wouldn't care enough to help me. I see. At least I'll have you helping me. Well, it's nothing. That's what friends are for, right? Yeah. And you aren't half bad, Chloe. Well, it's the least I could do for you. Hey, I really do appreciate it. I know I come across as rude and unapproachable sometimes, but knowing that you'll be there for me really does help. I'm surprised you still stick around. Natsuki nervously glances down at the floor. I see that we're at the room. Hey, we'll find it. I'm willing to walk around the entire school with you until we find it. Natsuki weakly smiles at me as she opens the door. Sure enough, the room is free of the presence of anyone else, so we'll be able to search freely. Natsuki walks over to the desk and begins looking around for any sign of her manga. This is where I last remember having it. Well, maybe it's in her little bin. Usually the teachers have their own little lost and found bins that they keep in their rooms before they go turn it into the lost and found at the office. Turn it into the I go to the front of the room where Suzuki keeps her bin and begin digging through it. I'll check in the closet. Maybe someone put it in there. Good idea. Natsuki walks to the back of the room and begins throwing stuff out of the closet. Hey, you know we're gonna have to put all that back, right? We'll worry about that later. Find that manga's priority number 1 right now. Just as I continue neatly taking things out of the bin and searching for the manga. I just hope she doesn't tear this room apart in order to find it. Because either way, someone's going to make me clean everything up. After searching the entire bin, I wasn't able to find Natsuki's manga. I call out to Natsuki. Any luck in the closet? Natsuki emerges from the closet with a dejected look. No. How about you? Shake my head. It's not in the bin. Great. Natsuki shuts her eyes as she slumps down next to the closet door. Natsuki? It took me months to save up for it. I had to skip out on lunch so many times. I had to beg my dad to let me do his chores. It was pain enough to convince him to even give me an allowance. And now all my work was for nothing. Natsuki buries her face in her hands. Stand there absolutely stunned with what I just heard. I knew Natsuki never had the greatest relationship with her father, but still, can't believe she put herself through all that just for some manga. And there probably isn't much I can do right now to make her feel better. So as I begin putting everything back in the bin, suddenly I notice a pink book stacked among several textbooks on Is it Miss or Mrs. Suzuki's desk? That's odd. I put the bin back on the shelf and pulled the pink book out. Well, I don't believe it. Hey, Natsuki! Aw. Oh no. I hope the scene turns a bit happier. Natsuki looks up at me with glossy, tear-filled eyes. What? Now she's looking up. If you're going to try to say something encouraging, save it. I give up. Well, you really shouldn't. We're not going to find it! Are you sure about that? Huh? I hold up Natsuki's manga. That definitely looks like Madoka Magica. It even stands here. I was just looking at this part, but no, this is definitely Madoka Magica. Are you serious? Natsuki wipes the tears from her eyes and abruptly stands up. Where was it? Hiding between some textbooks. I guess I accidentally handed it in. Who cares? Natsuki practically runs up to me and takes the manga from me like Sayori takes her cupcakes. She carefully examines the manga to check for any creases or other damage before flipping through the book. Yep, just how I remember it. I can't but smile at Natsuki's little celebration. Well, that's one crisis averted for today, eh? That's a serious understatement! Well, I nearly scratched the back of my head. It was no trouble. I'm just glad I could, without warning, Natsuki suddenly embraces me. But like yesterday, my mind goes blank. I don't know what's gotten into Natsuki lately, but I have to admit, I kind of like the sight of her. Well, she did let me hug her back yesterday. I've wrapped my arms around her. After a few minutes, Natsuki still isn't letting go. That's unusual. Natsuki's not one for prolonged physical contact, and my hugs with Sayori never really lasted this long. But I'm not sure if I really should break the hug, considering Natsuki seems to be in total bliss. And this is really nice. But maybe she wants me to make the first move here. We can't stay like this forever. Basically haven't saved anything here. Whatever. Let's keep hugging! I'm sure she'll put away when she wants to. She'll pull away when she wants to. I keep Natsuki in my embrace. She really does go out of her way to make herself cute as possible. Suddenly I feel Natsuki pull away from me. What is it? Nothing? Nothing at all. Natsuki is barely able to hide her grin as she's barely able to look at me. Thanks for finding it, Chloe. No problem. We stand there awkwardly for a moment, neither of us sure of what to do next. I would offer to continue the hug, but it seems the magic of the moment has fleeted. Hey, Chloe? Yeah? Can you promise not to tell any of the others what I was saying earlier? About how you saved up so much money to get that? Natsuki merely nods. I mean, I'm not gonna tell anyone, but you didn't need to go that far to get this, Natsuki. No offense, Chloe, but you really don't understand what my life is like. You never really did give the full picture. I'll give you a summary. If I ever want anything for myself, it costs an arm and a leg. But that's so freaking selfish. It's not like we're tight on money or anything. In fact, we're decently well off. He spends it all on himself. He barely sees me as his own child. Just some nuisance he has to deal with for at least two more years. Sometimes he's so ridiculously strict, and other times he just doesn't care about what I do. I find a lot, to say the least. I'm really sorry, Natsuki. I wish there was something I could do. You can't. I I just have to put up with his crap until I move away to college. He's more than happy to send me as far away as possible if it means he doesn't have to see me anymore. He even hated the idea of having to give me an allowance. He just spends most of his time at home drinking beer in front of our TV. He's just a... Natsuki lets out a deep sigh. I just hope you get along well with your parents, Chloe. Something I never got the chance to experience. I'd say they're fair for the most part. Natsuki lets out a slight chuckle. Well, looks like they didn't do too bad with you. I'll be sure to tell them that the next time I see them. They're not around. They're out in the countryside helping my grandparents out. Oh, I never met mine. Heck, I've only really known my dad for a good chunk of my life. What happened to your mom? Natsuki shuts her eyes as if she's trying to suppress her tears. It's fine. I'm sure that she's a great person and would be proud of who you are. I like to think that too. I'm more assuming that her mother probably died. And so only having really the father as a relative, they put her in with her father. Anyway, I guess that's enough reminiscing about my messed up childhood. We should probably get back before Monica throws a major fit or something. I'd be more worried about Sayori calling me 100 times. I know what you mean! Let's go, Chloe! With her manga in hand, Natsuki and I exit the classroom and head back to the literature club. During the walk back, Natsuki is in an unusually cheerful mood, smiling brightly as she takes glances between me and her manga. No, she took glances. Yeah, it was... Natsuki was... She took. Granted, I've seen Natsuki in a good mood plenty of times. This was a different side she was showing me. It's almost as if she just found out she won the lottery or just found out that her cupcakes won first place in some contest. So I feel happy that we were able to find her manga. Given what she told me about her home situation, I probably helped her in more ways than one. In fact, just probably by befriending her, I've helped her out so much. I've no idea what her life was like before I met her, or if she's always had this tough exterior, but I've come to see lately she isn't all that. She really is a sweet, kind and caring person, and recently I feel like she finally sees me the same way. I just hope she feels the same way as I do about her. Chloe, where are you going? Huh? You know you just passed the club, right? What? I look back to see Natsuki smugly standing by the doors to the club room. How did I screw that up? I sigh as I walk back over to her. Was this also with Sayori? I know it was like that with Monica. Natsuki then looks at me concerningly. You okay, Chloe? You seriously look like you would have kept going until you hit the wall. Yeah, I'm fine. I've just been thinking a lot today. Is it about what I said earlier? It's a little more than that. Well, if you want to talk about it, I'm all ears. I mean, are you at least that much after your help today? You don't owe me anything, Natsuki. Don't worry about that. But I appreciate the offer. Hey, it's what I do. I think I have some good experience steering you in the right direction. Very funny. I roll my eyes as Natsuki chuckles to herself as she opens the door. Guess who found her manga? Everyone in the room turns their attention to me and Natsuki as she proudly shows off her manga for everyone to see. So that's why you two went out? I'll admit I was a little worried that you two might have left together. Oh, come on, we wouldn't, did you guys? Sarah would have killed me. Yeah, because leaving unannounced is super mean, Chloe. She's right, you two. Leaving unannounced is rather rude. Poor Monica was wondering if she needed to hold off on the activity for you guys. Well, sorry for keeping you all waiting. Well, it was kind of an emergency that I got this back as soon as possible, so I'm not really sorry. It's alright, you two. Natsuki, I'm glad you got your manga back. But just remember to keep better track of your things in the future. Oh, this is never leaving my side again! Natsuki clutches her manga tight with emphasis. And I owe Chloe big time for helping me find it. It's nothing. Scratch the back of my head as I look off in an embarrassment. It's the least I could do. Anyways, it's time to get started for today. Everyone take a seat. Everyone takes a seat at the front of the room by Monica. While grabbing a seat, I notice Yuri shooting me an agitated glance. Very agitated. Turn to ask what's wrong, but she quickly looks away before I get the chance to. Yuri's not assuming something, is she? Sigh to myself as I turn my focus to Monica, but Yuri's definitely taking Natsuki's role. I wonder if she'll suggest that I stay later this time around instead of Natsuki, but I mean, Natsuki's problem's resolved, so that scene will change that way or that way. Oh, and make sure you hand in your poems to Chloe if you haven't already. I think I just need your poems and Natsuki's. Alright, let me get mine. Monica walks back to the front of the room while everyone gets up and goes back to their respective areas. After a few moments, Monica returns to me with her poems in hand. Here you are, Chloe. Monica smiles as she hands me her poems. I can promise you that there's nothing unexpected in there. Monica slyly winks at me. Well, that's a relief. We both share a small laugh before the sun settles again. So, I guess I'll leave you be and let you get Natsuki's poems. Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Monica. Laters. I head towards the closet where Natsuki seems to be shuffling through her belongings. Once I get close, I notice Natsuki studying the cover of the manga that she mentioned earlier. So once she sees me, hastily puts it back in her bag. Chloe, what's up? Not much. Just came to get your poems. Oh shoot, I almost forgot. Natsuki rummages through her bag again and pulls out her poems. There you go. That should be all of my beautiful poems. Well, I don't know if I'd call them beautiful, but Natsuki gives me a dejected look, but knowing her, I can't tell if it's genuine or not. Finally, I feel her projected guilt overtake me. Okay, they're beautiful. I knew you'd agree with me. Well, they're pretty good. Maybe I'll read them over again when I'm laminating. Sounds like it'll be a time well spent, Chloe. Yeah. I take it you're heading home now. Natsuki's son looks down at the floor. Who knows what fun and adventure truly will go through tonight. Adventure yours truly will go through tonight. Hey, look. If things ever get too bad over there, you can crash at my place for as long as you need to. Well, it's not really that bad, but I'll keep it in mind. Honestly, since her father in this case is not demanding that she stays with him to keep this control of you not telling anyone, by the looks of it, I think this will be perfectly fine for her. Like, he would accept it if she, or he would not care. This version of her father would not care if she stayed with him. Natsuki somberly looks down at the floor before cracking a quick joke. Maybe that way I can convince you to get a bigger blender. Well, maybe when my parents come back, I'll talk to them about it. Just be safe, okay? Jeez, you act like I'm going away and never coming back or something. I'll be fine, Chloe. Okay. Natsuki and I stand awkwardly by the closet, unsure of what to say next. Today we both really learned a lot about each other. Hey, I'll talk to you later, okay? Alright. Catch you later. Laters! Natsuki shoots me one last smile as she waves goodbye to everyone before heading out of the clubroom. Head back to my seat and carefully stow away Monica and Natsuki's poems. I then slumped down into my seat. Even though Natsuki told me not to worry, I still feel anxious for her. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but I really do hope she's not in any danger. That just add on to my already growing list of stress and worries. Suddenly I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around to see Yuri standing right by me. Speaking of stress and worries... Hey, Chloe! Oh, hey Yuri, what's up? Nothing much. Just wanted to see how you were doing. You look a little exhausted. I'm fine. It's just been a long day. Yeah, I know what you mean. We all have days where things just overwhelm us. You know, if you try some aromatherapy, it'd be a great way to relieve your stress. I highly recommend it. Is there a specific brand you use? I use jasmine oil. Well, I'll have to look into getting some considering how the last few days have gone for me. What? What's happened? Doesn't look like she knows I've read her poem. Though I don't think I could even really tell Yuri what's been going on with Sayori, much as Natsuki. It's things I really can't talk about. I see. Yuri dejectedly shuts her eyes. Well, maybe opening up a little bit wouldn't hurt. It's just more life stuff, if anything. Oh, so? I guess it's just me figuring out what I want in my life, I guess. I don't know, I'm not having an existential crisis or anything, but it's just me figuring things out. I know what you mean, Chloe. I mean, we all are trying to figure out what to do next. Though I guess I'm currently waiting to see what fate has in store for me. How so? Your nursery looks off. Even though I know what Yuri's going to say, I'm more curious in hearing how she'll say it. We can't just say that I've had my eyes on someone recently. Is that so? I try asking as quizzically as I can, but it's hard for me to act innocently dumb when I already know the answer. Yeah. And I just took a chance recently, and I'm waiting to find out if he feels the same way. Yuri then sweetly looks at me. Feel a drop of sweat trickle down the back of my neck as I try my hardest to not break my curious expression. Well, I hope it works out for you, Yuri. I mean, what guy wouldn't want to date you? As much as I'm trying to calm Yuri's nerves, I immediately regret phrasing it like that. Especially since I know she's talking about me. I already screwed up majorly. I haven't even decided what to do yet. Meanwhile, Yuri only blushes harder. Well, I'm not sure if he and I share mutual feelings, but that means I at the very least get to hear her confession this time around. We haven't spent too much time together recently. He's kind of been hanging around someone else. I internally scream. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. Well, I wish you the best, Yuri. But I think Sayo wants to head home now. But Monica said, I think I have to go, Yuri. Why? So you can daydream about Natsuki again? Your sudden yelling nearly makes my heart jump out of my chest. I wonder what happens if I have Yuri. I will definitely need to test that. If I have Yuri for the Sayori events. If she's going to change it as to something similar to what Natsuki said. On the other hand, all of this implies to me that I'm going to kind of also see Natsuki again during the Yuri route. So, we'll see. I will go and play around a little bit more. I'll just have to see how much new text I'm going to read in comparison to stuff that I've already read but just isn't skippable yet. I also see Monica and Sayori turn their heads in my direction as she says that. Oh, great. It seems you always have time to spend with Natsuki. And you certainly had no problem hugging her in the middle of that club room. So why, all of a sudden, when I want to have a genuine conversation not involving literature, you seem to want to avoid me? Oh god, I hope her route includes a little bit of literature. I'm aching for more literature in DDLC mods. For more discussions on literature. That's also why I love the little book sharing. Even if the books don't exist, I love just that they're talking about books. I hope we're going to talk a bit about literature with Yuri because I want more literature. I didn't do something wrong, did I? I'm so caught off guard by Yuri's anger I barely know how to respond. No, Yuri, that's not the point. Look, if you want to be with Natsuki so badly, then go for her. Just don't make us be a spectator to it. Yuri goes back to the front of the room, picks up her stuff, and wordlessly storms out of the club room. All three of us are left dumbfounded. I'm shuffling a little bit in the background. There is something I quickly wanted to check. Something's falling now! Ah! Everything's falling apart with Yuri! And everything's falling apart on the side of the room! There is something I still need to sort over here, because right now it's pretty collapsible. So, I'll be shuffling in the background. I can multitask fairly okayly, so it's going to be fine. All three of us are left dumbfounded. Chloe, what happened? I just told her that I had to go, and she just blew up at me. Well, that's certainly unlike Yuri. Well, maybe it's a good time for us to head home. Yeah, there's nothing left to do anyways. Hopefully everything will be calmer between you two tomorrow. Tomorrow would be your confession. This will not be calm. This will be pain. I will be in agony. You know it. I will be in agony. Yeah, I hope so too. Well, I have some work I need to do here, so you guys can head out. Thank you, Monica. No problem. Sarah and I pack our bags and we silently exit the club room and start our commute home. The walk home with Sayori didn't really... I tried to think back to how I spent earlier helping Natsuki find her manga, which helped improve my mood a little. Though I'm still worried about what she told me. I'm tempted to tell Sayori everything Natsuki told me, but I wouldn't want to risk spreading rumors. And I did make a promise to Natsuki not to tell anyone either. Exactly, you don't just tell that to everyone. The only time you tell it to someone is when you are certainly convinced that her father is going to beat her into a pulp and you need to make sure to call someone. If you call... I almost said 911, which doesn't make any sense in Germany. Weird. But if you feel the need to call the police, then I can understand it. Will it be what the other person wants? I'm not sure. Will it be helpful? Sadly, from personal experience, it also is very dependent. But it's at least an understandable reaction, whereas if it's about, please don't tell any of my friends what is currently happening, like, not just the people I don't know that you kind of need to vent to, but just, like, people in my surroundings as well, who also know me very well, and therefore would definitely think something, whatever it may be, about it. Anything unique that isn't just related to you, but also about me. Because if I were to share something about one friend to another who doesn't know the other friend, then the friend I told about it would worry about me and the effect it's having on me, and not the person that they don't even really know. Of course, they could still be concerned about that, but generally speaking, it's understandable why it would slip out with someone that isn't really in that situation. Because you can't always keep everything bottled up inside either. It's just you probably shouldn't bring that up to someone that they explicitly said, these people know me, they know you. When you tell them, they're going to think something about me as well because they know me as well. So that's what I'm saying. If possible, you of course can avoid telling anyone, because if the other person really doesn't want anyone to know, it's understandable, but if it has to go out somewhere, especially something as intense as this, it could make sense, and if you end up sharing it with someone, it would simply be better if that person simply isn't part of the situation in any way. as in they don't even know the person this is about. I've also noticed that with my friends that, for example, when I share it here, you all cannot really figure out who they are. You might be able to relate to them a little bit here or there or whatever, but you'll never really be in a position where you approach them and try to talk with them about it, even though you have no real right to know. It's also something similar why I'm a bit more open here as I am to people on the streets that I'm not too familiar with, because the chances of you finding me are low. Of course, they're not impossible, but they're low. So I feel a bit more comfortable saying these things aloud, because what you can tell me is never going to be something like, we're not on such a personal level with one another where that has the same effect as with when I'm talking with people in my actual surroundings. Of course, online friends and everything, for example, can also have the same effects on you as friends in your surroundings face to face. But I feel like the position of you viewing content and someone else makes is still very different in comparison to me sharing it with someone in my immediate surroundings. Because I feel like there is in fact a different type of connection that gets created there in comparison to this. Not that Sayori is the gossip type anyways, and I'm just worried she'll tell or make me tell a teacher or the principal, and things will escalate out of control from there. I really do think that I'm falling for Natsuki. Having spent the last 2 weeks getting to know her has truly been something. It's really amazing how far we've come in such a relatively short amount of time. First I thought she hated me, but now it's like we've been friends our whole lives. I even think I'm even getting used to her teasing. She's clearly able to deal with my quirks now as well. I didn't know it at the time, but I didn't think we'd be able to get along as well as we do now, considering she wasn't all that welcoming when I first joined. But now that I know her and what she's like, almost everything I know about her makes sense. For the first time, I feel like I truly understand Natsuki. And with what she told me today, I'm just worried about her. I know she just puts on the act to try to be taken seriously at school, but at home, who knows? After all, she only gave me a summary. Well, if I do know her, she's a strong person, and I'm hopeful she won't need me to try to step in and help her resolve her home life. But I think Natsuki truly appreciates that there's someone out there who takes her seriously, who shares the same interests and hobbies as her, cares about her and her opinions, and doesn't take everything she does and says at face value. Even if it's still a little hard to understand what she's doing at times, I understand how she means well. I always know she means well. And I've had a blast spending every moment I could around her. Her laugh, her smiles, she's never been boring to hang around. And I think she enjoys spending time around me too. It's almost like we're a perfect match. And I have a pretty good reason to believe she likes me back. For the past 2 days, she's been hugging me, and each time, it felt almost magical. All things considered, I do think I want to go for Natsuki, but the problem is, I know that in doing so, I'd be breaking Yuri's heart. Yuri can come later! And possibly causing Sayori even more anguish. I just don't know if the timing is right. That is an understandable worry. Maybe when Sayori's in a better shape, and I feel like I have a proper way of rejecting Yuri, then maybe I can figure out how to talk to Natsuki about all this. But then again, do I really need to wait for that? Rebuilding my friendship with Sayori is going to take time either way, that's also true. And well, I'd like to think we've established that we're going to remain friends, nothing more or less. Even though the possibility to go for more is still there. But I just don't think I have the same connection with Sayori like I do for Natsuki. Same goes for Yuri too, I guess. I mean, maybe I could give Yuri a chance and see if we have any real chemistry. Next route! But from the times I've interacted with her, maybe it's just not there. Considering how Yuri tends to put a lot of emotion into things, I don't think she'd react too well if I rejected her. Breaking two hearts wouldn't exactly sit well with my subconscious. But if I do go for Yuri, then Natsuki would be left out. Basically, no matter what, if one of them gets chosen, the other gets the heartbreak. I don't know if I'm ready to do that again. So as I pull up my phone and scroll through my picture gallery. As I'm scrolling, I come across some pictures I took of Natsuki at the festival. Looking back at some of the photos, I see just how happy we looked doing all these silly poses throughout the festival. It's funny how most of these photos were her idea. Scroll to the last photo, which is us standing by the entrance to the school at the end of the festival. I noticed just how close together we are in this photo, and her even wrapping her arm around me. I guess we would make a good couple. Suddenly my phone begins to ring. To my surprise, it's Natsuki. Why is she calling me? Just hope something didn't happen. Answer the phone. Natsuki? Click down the T. Hey, Chloe! What's up? Why do you sound so surprised? I just wasn't expecting you to call, that's all. I guess that's true. Thankfully, judging by the tone of Natsuki's voice, it doesn't sound like anything bad happened. You're not busy right now, are you? Not really, why? So, I just found out that the new edition of Buffet Girls came out, and I was wondering if you wanted to come with me to the bookstore. Right now? What else, dummy? We don't have long before the store closes, so... You better hurry and decide if you want to come along. We'll have to leave soon before the store closes. If you want, I can meet you on the way. The idea of hanging out with some more with Natsuki is tempting. I could use this opportunity to get a better feel for Natsuki's home life and hopefully put my anxiety over the subject to rest. But I don't know if I really want to leave the house, considering I got some heavy-duty thinking to do. Not to mention I could use the early start on my homework. Hang out with Natsuki, is this even a question? Yeah, sure, I'd love to go with you. Of course we're going with our girl Natsuki. Wow, really? Yeah, I could use some fresh air right now anyways. Don't worry, you'll be getting plenty if we don't leave right now. To be frank, it's nice to be getting good air, you know? Is this even really a threat, or is this, does she just want to help our airflow? Does she just want us to breathe? They're apparently selling them left and right. I guess this release was well advertised. Where should I meet you? The bookstore is past the school, so we can probably meet there. Well, good news for us that the school's not terribly far from me. I can probably make it in 3 or 10 minutes. In there in 10 minutes! What the fuck? In 3 and 10 minutes. The fuck was I saying there? That's pretty much how long it'll take me to get there by bus. Perfect. I'll see you then. Laters! Natsuki promptly hangs up the call. Well, I know better than to keep her waiting. I quickly grab my wallet and keys and start speed walking back to school. The intros are certainly all lovely, like Natsuki wants your cupcakes, Yuri wants something, but I don't know what this new intro I just said when I opened the mod was. It was Justice for Spartan Boy. I'm not sure who that is. Sure enough, I take my usual route to school and arrive pretty much on the dot. As I'm waiting on the sidewalk by the school, I peer both ways down the street for any sign of Natsuki. Surprisingly, not only is there no sign of Natsuki, but there's hardly anyone around. Well, then again, who hangs around after school on a Wednesday? I'm sure she'll be here any minute. The bus runs pretty periodically through here anyways. I just hope I don't get called out for looking too suspicious. Hey weirdo, what are you doing? Damn it. Turned my head to see who was yelling at me. Oh. Hey, weirdo! What are you doing? And surprisingly, I see Natsuki walking over towards me. You're late, I say teasingly. It's not my fault. There's a lot of traffic out on Rockefeller Street. There's always traffic on Rockefeller Street. Exactly! That's why I just got off the bus and walked all the way here. By the time I rode it all the way here, you probably would have gotten the cops call on you or something for standing like a weirdo by the school. Good to see you didn't leave your sense of humor on the bus. Natsuki lightly punches me in the arm. Hey, what was that for? Acting like a smartass. And there's more where that came from if you keep acting like one. Dully noted. Natsuki joyfully giggles. She always did have a twisted sense of humor. Can't say I'm that different either. Anyways, let's get going. We wait any longer and they'll be totally sold out. Yeah, let's get going. Natsuki and I begin making our way in the direction of the city. Early on, Natsuki and I are able to move at a pretty rapid pace towards the bookstore. But our progress gets hindered by a growing number of people crowding on the sidewalk the farther we get into the city. And thanks to all the cars driving, there isn't exactly a safe way to bypassing the crowds, so we're forced to move with them to block to block. At one point, Natsuki tried taking me by the arm in an attempt to cut through the crowd, but I really couldn't keep up with her thanks to her small size. Naturally, that irritated her. You just had to be so tall! Well, it's not like I can do much about it. I'm pretty sure we're almost there. We still got 2 more blocks to go, Chloe. I'm just worried it'll be sold out by the time we get there. I'm sure there's bound to be at least a few copies left. You'd think they would have planned for this sort of thing. I hope so. I don't think I'd have time to walk to the other store and make it back in time before my dad gets home. And I don't really want to order it online. Right. I remembered that with the way Natsuki described her father to me, he doesn't exactly seem like the most open-minded person. In fact, I remembered that there was a rather specific reason that Natsuki stored her manga collection in school rather than at home. But even then, I'm sure she stowed away a few copies in her room somewhere. I'm sure that all the bookstores in town have the new copy on them. Well, it's usually available first at the one we're going to. It's where I got the last few editions when they just came out. I couldn't get the last edition on the day it came out. I had to go the week after to get it then. Well, I can get it for you if we can find it there. It's not like I have any plans for tonight. Except trying to sort out the cluster that is my emotions right now. You don't have to do that for me, Chloe, really. I insist. Natsuki, we're on your route. We'll do anything for you, as I have done everything for Monica beforehand. Natsuki pauses for a moment to think of my offer. Eventually, she lets out a defeated sigh. Well, let's just see if they have it first. Seems reasonable to me. Thank you, Chloe. Don't mention it. I know how much you love the series. Well, you aren't wrong. It seems like you've been enjoying it so far. I have. Anyways, I think we're here. We promptly stop right by the entrance of the bookstore. Yep, this is the place. I knew this looked familiar. You've been here before? Yeah, a few times. Haven't had the chance to go recently. Well, you see how much they've expanded their manga section? They actually ended up moving it to the 2nd floor. Well, really? That's awesome. I'm pretty sure from what I've heard from people who have visited Japan, I kind of was thinking of how to phrase it, because it's not just my friends, it's also relatives, that they do in fact have a lot of manga in their stores. So I would assume that maybe they would do that in like bookstores as well, have like a larger manga section. I'll let you lead the way, ladies first after all. A gesture for Natsuki to enter the store. Wow, what a gentleman! She says sarcastically. So you helped me? I walk over and hold the door open for Natsuki. She lets out a small laugh before eventually composing herself. Okay. I believe you. Natsuki happily enters the bookstore with me tailing right behind her. As we step into the lobby, we're greeted with a long line by the register with additional classes of people walking around and looking at the various shelves. That only makes Natsuki even more visibly anxious. Noticing this, I try to reassure her. Well, it doesn't seem like there's too many people coming up and down the stairs. Let's hope they're not sold out. Natsuki and I head to the stairwell and walk up to the second floor. As we reach to the second floor, Natsuki anxiously rushes to the manga section while I slowly follow behind her. Natsuki frantically begins searching through the shelves to find anything related to buffet girls, while I'm on the other side browsing at the selection. Considering Natsuki has probably spent much more time here than me, chances are she'd find it sooner. Some browsing, I come across some old familiar titles I used to read when I was a kid. Exterminator! Interstellar Pirates! Hey, this is something I've read in a long time. I pull off the shelves a copy of The Galaxy War Chronicles. That one currently doesn't say anything to me. The others I kind of could see maybe that they could be references to things I've heard of. Though, some of these... like Exterminator doesn't say anything for me as in manga things. But the Galaxy War Chronicles don't say anything to me. I lost my copies of these years ago. It was one of my favorite things to read growing up. I remember seeing the movies with Sayori. Though it was her more reluctantly agreeing it with me so we can get ice cream afterwards. In fact, I didn't even know that these were still in distributions, let alone that they were still making new editions. And would look like I could just about afford it. I can probably order the previous volumes online somewhere. Yes! My train of thought is interrupted by Natsuki's sudden cheering. What is it? I found it! More Madoka Magica! Definitely Madoka Magica or something. But I can't exactly say what. To be frank, it actually looks kind of different. The only thing is kind of... I can't really see this on the corner. A little investigating on the side. Natsuki proudly twirls around as she clutches the book close to her chest. I just stand there smiling as Natsuki does a little celebration. Yeah, she even has like her leg bent and her knee bent in a little dance. She really is something. Even though she can be a handful at times, seeing her this happy is quite infectious. She probably doesn't even realize how cute she is right now. All things considered, Natsuki's not hard of a person to make happy, so long as you keep an open and understanding mind. It makes me wonder if I can make her even more happy. Suddenly I see Natsuki twirling a little too close to the bookshelves. Hey, just make sure you don't hit the shelves. Oh, come on. It's not like I'm that clumsy. Checking out the Madoka Magica mangas, but I don't see the manga. But I don't see anything on the spot that looked exactly like it, because it also looked like there was maybe someone with a bathing suit. So it could be a different manga series. It just looked like that from the kind of similar looking character at the front, though I was a little confused because it kind of looked like they were wearing a bathing suit. And the clothing looked magical girl-esque. But maybe it's some type of other magical girl manga. The top also kind of looked Like it could be Madoka Magica. Well, fair point. But hey, I'm glad you found it. It was the last copy they had. Guess we're just that lucky. Yeah. I'm glad you could share in the moment with me, Chloe. Hey, it's what I do. Are you getting anything while we're here? Yeah, I'm getting this. I'm proud to show Natsuki the copy of The Galaxy Chronicles. Wait, wasn't it? Huh? Wait a second. Wait a second. The Galaxy War Chronicles! The Galaxy Chronicles! Which one is it? Important things! Is it the Galaxy Chronicles or the Galaxy War Chronicles? Okay, I'm assuming the Galaxy Chronicles. Maybe the Galaxy War Chronicles is in relation to that particular volume. Trying to find some type of in-universe excuse. The Galaxy Chronicles, huh? I haven't read it recently, but it's pretty good. Even if it's a little boyish for my taste. Well, maybe we can read this one together too. We can broaden our horizons together. Look at you getting me into other kinds of manga. Looks like the student has become the master. Ah, well, embarrassingly scratched the back of my head. That's how the literature club works, doesn't it? Stepping outside of your comfort zones to read new things? Yep, pretty much. Anyways, let's head downstairs and buy these. I'm already getting excited just thinking about reading them. You and me both. Natsuki and I happily trot downstairs to the register. Despite a relatively long wait in line, we're finally able to have our turn at the register. Being the gentleman I am, I let Natsuki go first. However, her cheerful mood quickly disappears as the price comes up on the screen. She's had to have counted her money at least 12 times before finally letting out a defeated sigh. Chloe, I don't think I can afford it. It was a lot more than I thought it'd be. How short are you? 300 yen. Oh, yikes. We pull ourselves briefly to the side to let the people behind us pay for their things. This is my fault. Should have known it would have been that expensive. Even though I've been saving up for months now. Natsuki clenches the manga tightly in an effort to compose herself. I decide to look down my wallet. Well, if we pull our money together, we could afford it. They wouldn't be able to buy the copy I wanted. Well, Natsuki clearly wants her copy more than I want mine, so... Natsuki? What? She looks as tears start to well in her eyes. If we pull our money together, we can afford it. Chloe, no. Don't bail me out because of my mistake. But you didn't do anything wrong. Trust me, you want your manga more than I want mine. I can get this whenever. Chloe, why are you so nice to me? I know I haven't always been nice back. But you've put up with me better than anyone ever has. Just so selfish and self-absorbed. No, you aren't. Look, I understand you better than anyone in the club. I know why you're like this. And it doesn't change my opinion on you. It just makes me want to spend more time around you. Natsuki clenches the manga tighter. Look, let me pay for the manga, okay? Natsuki reluctantly sighs. Alright, fine. Just don't tell anyone about this, okay? You have my word. Natsuki sheepishly hands over her money and the manga while I quickly walk over to rejoin the line. After a few minutes, I'm able to pay for Natsuki's manga, return my own, and begin our walk back. As we walk out of the bookstore, I hand the bag over to Natsuki. You really didn't have to do that for me, Chloe. It's nothing, really. That's what friends are for, right? Natsuki doesn't answer and simply sheepishly takes the bag as we start walking, but after a few minutes, she speaks up again. I really can't thank you enough, Chloe. Nobody's ever been that kind to me. Well, hopefully I won't be the last person to treat you fairly. I'm just glad I'm your friend, Natsuki. You're not so bad to hang around. Yeah, you too. Natsuki blushes brightly as we continue on the direction to the school. So we walk back to school. The walk back to school was surprisingly quicker than it was to the bookstore. Though it does mean that it's pretty much time for Natsuki and I to part ways until tomorrow. Well, I guess this is our stop. Yeah, well, I guess so. There's an obvious trace of disappointment in her voice as she looks down at the ground. Well, I can stay until the bus comes if you want. Would you want? Actually, do you mind if I walk you back to your place? I know I have some time before my dad comes home. I'm thrown off by Natsuki's request. I mean, I wouldn't mind spending more time with her, but I'm not exactly sure why she'd want to walk me back. But I don't want to screw this up again with Natsuki, so I'll take her up on her off this time. Sure. I wouldn't mind. Great! I'm not sure what her motivation is here, but I'll roll with it. We start walking back to my place with Natsuki noticeably walking closer to me than normal. The walk back was mostly silent, with Natsuki almost holding my hand at a few points. I shoot her an occasional look, but she doesn't seem to notice. I can't say I'd be against holding her hand right now. I mean, we've had quite the day together. So, this is where I live. Well, of course you recognize the place. Yeah, I remember. Natsuki somberly scans up at my house. Something wrong? Can you do me a favor, Chloe? Sure. Natsuki hands me her manga book, her hands shaking. Can you hold on to this until tomorrow? Just put it in the closet when you get into the club. Why? You know why! Suddenly it clicks for me. Because of your dad, isn't it? Yes! She barely squeaks out. He'd kick me out of the house and disown me if he ever found me reading that. My anxiety that I suppressed earlier about Natsuki's home life suddenly bursts out into the open. Natsuki, I know earlier you said it wasn't that bad, but is it really that bad? Natsuki merely nods her head as tears start rolling down her face. He hasn't been bad recently. He's been in a good mood lately. But I'm scared that one little thing will set him off like always. And he'll take it out on me one way or another. Drop the manga as I take Natsuki into my arms. Natsuki, I'm so sorry. You need to get away from him. Fat chance I can! She abruptly pulls away from me. If I leave, he'll find me. He can and will do that. And when he catches me, it'll be the end of me. What does he do to you? What does he do to you? Does he physically hurt you? He hasn't in a while, thankfully. But it's not like I'm spared from his harsh insults. And anytime I fight back, it gets worse. I guess because I've put up with this crap lately, he's found me tolerable. I guess that's all you can do for now until you can get away. Believe me, first chance I get, I'm getting away from him. Well, look, if anything ever happens, just come to me, okay? I mean, I guess walking from school to here helps make this all a little more familiar to you, right? Natsuki lets out a little chuckle. Yeah, it does. Sorry for not telling you the full truth earlier. I didn't want you to worry about me. I've been worried. Ever since you told me, it's been nagging in the back of my mind. Look, if something ever happened to you, I don't know what I'd do. Nothing would be the same without you, Natsuki. Natsuki stares off with a mixed expression of guilt and embarrassment. Well, it means a lot that you really care about me, Chloe. I'll come to you if I ever need you, okay? Okay. We stand in silence for a few moments before Natsuki breaks it. Well, I gotta head home. All the emotions aside, I had fun today, Chloe. You really did make this a better day than I thought it was gonna be. I'm glad I helped. You did. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. You too. We embrace each other one last time before Natsuki walks off back in the direction of the school. Smile to myself as I watch her walk off into the horizon, knowing that I helped make her day. Pick up the bag containing her mug and enter my house. Finishing everything I need to do for school tomorrow, I lay on my bed ready to fall asleep. The day was a lot better than I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be a total train wreck, figuring that Yuri was going to pull me aside to talk about the letter. If I'm correct, it's going to happen next time. But fortunately, that didn't happen, even though that didn't stop us from having a clash earlier. At least I got closer to Natsuki. A lot closer. And knowing the full extent of his situation at home, I know I have to be there for her. But to what extent can I support her? I mean, it's starting to show that we have feelings for each other. Sooner or later, one of us is going to end up confessing. But I still have to deal with Yuri. That sounds mean. To deal with this bitch Yuri. I've no idea what I'm even supposed to say to her. I'll just try to put this on the back burner for now. I should just try to get some sleep. Hopefully I don't have another horrific dream. You will have another horrific dream. I'm so sorry. I shut my eyes as I uneasily drift off to sleep, praying for nothing to happen.